Hey guys! So today you and I are going to talk about people management. So let's get into it. So the question in question was, Frederick, what is your stance on the level of expertise required for effective people management? Do you believe that it is an unskilled task that anyone can do, or do you think that it requires a unique set of skills and competencies? Uh, I I'm not really sure I like the way we've formulated this question, because I don't think it's a question of being unskilled when you're dealing with people. I do believe that it is a skill that anybody can have, because I think that it's not something where most people, like, there are some people, guys, who are good at management or taking care of leadership roles and so forth because they've received training, because you can definitely train, you can learn how to be a better manager, a better leader, or so forth and so forth. But at the same time, I don't want to say that this is something that is extremely difficult, because it's a little bit like, uh, you know, if anybody can go for a run or go for a jog, but not everybody can run so well or have the genetics, or like the aptitude, let's call it aptitude, to make it all the way to be part of the Olympics, for example. Even if you train hard, you may never get to that level because you simply don't have the aptitude necessary. Just as some people are faster at learning how to ride a bike than other people. Anybody can do it, but some people are better at it and some people are worse at it. And that's more in the area of what I would describe leadership or management and so forth. Most of the managers who are in at least that work with me and I've worked with in IT and so forth, it's not like they became good like, and full disclosure here, guys, most of the managers that you will work with may actually not be all that good at their job. IT has in my opinion, at the very least, like a ridiculously low bar for middle management and so forth. Most of them are not actually very good. Most of them don't actually know how to do it effectively, if you ask me, at the very least. The ones that are usually very good, I I will go as far as to say that the thing that makes them good has very little to do with the fact that they've gone to school or learned something or so forth, because a lot of manager guys, they've never been like formally educated or something like that in management. They've just shown an aptitude for the work in like their personality traits and the way that they think and so forth, and they've been promoted to a manager. Like, this has happened to many of my coworkers. It's happened to me. Like, I like to say to people, like, there are a few of these roles in IT that I'm sorry if you have that role, but like, to me it's sort of, to me it's almost embarrassing that you need that role as a full-time job or something within an organization, because it is not really a role where you have to have some set of specific skills in order to, like, you don't need to have any real set of competitive, marketable skills or so forth to be able to do it. Like, literally anybody can do it, and the way that I know that that is possible is because literally the thing that some people have gone to school to do has become my job, just because we needed me to do that, or some of my coworkers and so forth. And that's usually in this area where you have like these administrative roles where, like, it's very difficult, I argue, to measure whether or not this is an effective person. Like, and management can be one of those, but I usually refer to things like scrum masters and product managers and things like that. It's I think it's wrong to say that it's a job that is, to sort of label people that do this sort of work as unskilled, because it does require a certain measure of skill. To me, it's sort of like saying that anybody can do prostitution. Yeah, it's true. Anybody could be a prostitute if they wanted to, but uh, not everybody's going to go down that route. And if, like, or you could do porn or something like that, and everybody can do that as well. Yeah, but some people are probably going to be able to do it, and some people will never ever be able to do it. Like you have all these, or childcare. Some people are really good with children, and some people are not. Some people are good teachers, and some are not. It's not. You can always train. Everything is a trainable thing if you really dedicate yourself to doing something like that. I'm not saying that you should train to be in porn or something like that if you don't, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that there is there are some roles that may not require you to hone a set of skills over basically a very extended period of time in order to be able to do it. You can make an argument for sales, for example. I have some friends who started their own business and they've been doing sales for years and they're very successful, and I have some friends who went to like university and like business school and all of that sort of stuff, and I mean I've never seen a correlation between the fact that you went and got an education and that you're very successful in that area. And I think most entrepreneurs will agree here that being an entrepreneur, it's not necessarily something that is very difficult. It's a difficult role to have, but it's not a difficult set of skills that you have to like get specialized training to do. It's something you can do immediately. Either you have like an aptitude for it, or you have to learn it some other way. And so one of the managers that I've looked up to told me this, actually. He said that, because when I was taking on the role and so forth, he said that I don't know if my job is all that difficult, but it does require a lot from you to do it. And I completely agree with that. It's similar to how I like to tell my my girlfriend, or like people that I know who work, say, in retailing, or say in support errands and so forth. These sort of jobs where it's the education level you need is fairly. You basically just need corporate training to do it, but it takes a while to do it really well. And most people who say look down on the cashier who works in a fast food restaurant or something like that, I like to try to remember that if I asked you to jump over the counter and help me with my order or something like that, you wouldn't even be able to navigate yourself through the cash, clicking the right buttons on the cash register properly. Because even though it's not a very difficult set of skills you need to acquire in order to do that job, it still has value to me as a customer, it has value to the business, and it does require you to practice a bit before you can do it really well. It's the same thing with management. You're not going to be a very effective leader or manager if you've never had any practice, but some people will pick it up really quickly, like riding a bike. Some people are really fast, and some people need to take a longer time before they can actually do it. So what I want you to take away from this is that I personally believe that it's not anybody can be a manager, literally anybody. And if you look at how many people start their own companies or so forth and so forth, like it's not something that is, I wouldn't say that you need a specialized set of skills and competencies. You usually, I argue, see that the best managers, they have a mix of both. They have experience and they might have had some training and so forth, but most of it comes down to their own personality and the way that they look at the world and how they interact with people. Soft skills, as I like to say, you can train them if you don't have them, but some people have like a natural aptitude for soft skills type of roles and so forth. And the best managers that I've always found to work with, as I said, most of it has very little to do with the fact that they know certain techniques or something like that. That's a very useful complement to their set of skills. But most of them are just really nice people who know how to organize things and know how to connect with people. It sounds silly that that's like all it is, but that is actually very difficult, and it's a full-time job to do that well. And most people are actually not that good at it. So yeah, as I said, anybody can do it, but some people will be good at it and some people will like really never be good at it. Have a great day.